Hello and welcome to the Antiquarian Outlook for Week 6 of 2026, starting February 2nd. I'm Spencer W. Stuart, Collections Advisor, author of Contemporary Issues and Rare Books and Manuscript Collecting, and host of the monthly webinar Collecting Insights. For more details on my services, publications, and programs, follow the links below, along with links to the various auctions we'll discuss in this program. All right, on to last week's results. Tuesday, Revere Auctions had painting, prints, and photography. There were 394 lots offered, of which 352 sold, making for an 89% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 28, Vucodam's Oil on Canvas, Duo pour les Héros. Estimates were set at $80,000 to $120,000 US, realizing $95,000 US. Highest price realized within Paperworks, lot 26, Juan Miro's Aquatint etching from 1974, The Sleepwalker. Estimates were set at $20,000 to $30,000 US, realizing $30,000 US. A buy-in of note, lot 351, the biographical edition of Charles Dickens's works, published between 1902 through to 1903. Estimates were set at $500 to $1,000 US. Still with Tuesday, New England Auctions had fine books and ephemera. There were 211 lots offered, of which 208 sold, making for a 98.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was $39, Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, as well as Little Women Part 2, published in 1869. The highest price realized was $3,250 US. On to Wednesday, ALDE had the Olivia Jeanson Library Sale. There were 292 lots offered, of which 159 sold, making for a 54% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 193, De Filou's Treatise on Hunting, published in 1567. Estimates were set at 12,000 to 15,000 euros, realizing 13,750 euros. A buy-in of note, lot 80, Magnet de Marot's Le Chasse de Fusil, published between 1788 and 1793 in 3 volumes. Estimates were set at 20,000 to 30,000 euros. Finishing off Thursday, Giquello had books and curiosities. There were 378 lots offered, of which 291 sold, making for a 77% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 322, an album of about 100 photographs connected to an Abel Gance production. Estimates were set at 100 to 150 euros, realizing 5,460 euros. A lot that exceeded expectation was 21 bound volumes of Art et Décoration from 1914 to 1920 and 1922 through to 1931. Estimates were set at 100 to 150 euros, realizing 3,159 euros. On to Thursday, Christies had fine printed books and manuscripts, including Americana. There were 171 lots offered, of which 159 sold, making for a 93% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 11, a first edition of Kepler's first substantial work. Estimates were set at $80,000 to $120,000 US, realizing $889,000 US. A buy-in of note, lot 16, a 17th century Simmelbon, including first edition of Galileo's famous Starry Messenger. Estimates were set at $300,000 to $500,000 US. A lot that exceeded expectation was 144, a series of 6 autographed letters signed J.P. Webster to his brother David Webster about his exploits in the California gold rush. Estimates were set at $7,000 to $10,000 US, realizing $279,400 US. Next sale, PBA Galleries had the Klaus Werner collection of Pacific Voyages. There were 200 lots offered, of which 166 sold, making for an 83% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 54, De Petit Tour's Voyage Around the World, published between 1840 through to 1846. Estimates were set at $40,000 to $60,000 US, realizing $25,000 US. A buy-in of note, lot 134, Liziansky's A Voyage Around the World, published in 1814, first edition in English. Estimates were set at $10,000 to $15,000 US. A lot that exceeded expectation was 153, Morel's A Narrative of 4 Voyages to the South Sea, published in 1832. Estimates were set at $40,000 to $60,000 US, realizing $5,625 US. Next sale, Potter & Potter Auctions had photography, Americana, and historical memorabilia. There were 426 lots offered, of which 389 sold, making for a 91% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 197, a clipped free franc signature of George Washington. Estimates were set at $4,000 to $6,000 US, realizing $12,000 US. A lot that exceeded expectation was 343, a group of 13 proof cartoons and covers of Puck magazine from 1912 through to 1913. Estimates were set at $200 to $300, realizing $3,120 US. Next sale, Sothebys had a dedicated sale for a single item, the Rothschild's Vienna Mazur. Estimates were set at $5 million to $7 million US, realizing just below $6.4 million US. For more in-depth information about this specific lot, have a look at the links below. Final sale for Thursday, Swann Galleries had art, subculture, and LGBTQ+ history. There were 191 lots offered, of which 127 sold, making for a 66% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 152, Dwayne Michael's Narcissus, a suite of 5 photographs, done in 1985. Estimates were set at $15,000 to $20,000 US, realizing $13,970 US. A buy-in of note, lot 42, Koger's Major Arcanum from 1972. Estimates were set at $10,000 to $15,000 US. For a hyperlinked list of next week's auctions we have an eye on, please get in touch with us directly. As always, the Antiquarian Outlook is totally independent. Its producers do not hold inventory, nor do they represent any consignments or acquisitions mentioned. In the news, registration is now open for the March sessions of Collecting Insights. Registrants receive a complimentary copy of Contemporary Issues and Rare Books and Manuscript Collecting. If you have any questions about the course content or what session might suit you best, please get in touch with us directly. We look forward to hearing from you. Well, that's been the week from here. What did you think of last week's results? Make sure to make some comments below and we'll keep the conversation going. If you want to stay up to date, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, and let others know about this program. Thanks again for tuning in. All for now. We'll see you next week.